This time, let's stand and sing our opening prayer, our song, which is Let There Be Peace. You'll find it on the white card or number 3 in Wings of Song. All right, for an invocation, I'd like to read, Source Creator, be our partner in life each and every day, to keep us focused on love, receiving and giving, both to ourselves and to all those around us. Bring healing for the darkness in all its forms, to raise up the perpetrators so they stand down and free the tormented. And at this time, we're going to sing hymn number 125, Work Wonders from Within in Wings of Song. Wonderful. All right. All right. Thank you, Carol. All right, so good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome again to Lake Superior Interfaith Community Church. We have a whole bunch of stuff going on at this church lately. Had a wonderful service last Sunday. If y'all missed it, you lost out. It was fun. It was a good time last week. Anyway, and we also had a lovely potluck. Thanks to everyone who brought stuff for the potluck. My name is Sue Brewer. I'm the president of Lake Superior Interfaith Community Church, the Board of Trustees. And I just want to let you know that I just preside. And our speakers are our spiritual leaders. Today, our spiritual leader is Joann Bruhn. Did I say that right? Okay. She is an amazing woman, and you will get to know her more soon. But she's going to speak on the power of the seen and unseen energies and unlocking the law of attraction. So that's kind of something to look forward to. And I'm on her email list from a bunch of years back. She was here and did some things with the church back in the day. And so I got on her email list, and every day I think, oh, when I get one of those, I think I'm going to do that one of these days. When I, still haven't done it. But I will be listening to her now. So I'm so excited she's back. So with that, the announcements are, number 1, tomorrow, if you are interested, is the Unity Book Group at 6:30 downstairs in the library area. They are reading the book, Living with Joy, right there. She's got it if you want to take a look at that. And then on Wednesday, there will not be a book club meeting. I apologize to all, especially Sue Hall and those in charge of that, because she texted me and said, we're not going to meet next Wednesday. And what do I do in the newsletter? Wednesday, April 30th, there's going to be a book club. Oh, anyway, I apologize. It's my fault. But they will be on summer hiatus for a while. But if you want to get involved in the book group in the fall, let Sue know, because they had a raucous time the other day. So you don't want to miss out on fun, right? So that's coming up in the fall. So no book group on Wednesday. Pause for the summer. Summer hiatus. Yeah. So today, speaking of book clubs, we have the spiritual book group, and the book they are reading is The Universe Has Your Back. And Jean and Debbie, is she going to? Okay. Well, at least Jean's here today, and you can talk to her about it, and depending on the size of the group, depends on what you do, I suppose. Now, big announcement is that on May 18th, we did have a speaker lined up. Unfortunately, she had to have some medical issues taken care of and will not be available for May 18th, which seems like a long way away right now, but we're booked through June. So I just want to let you know that. But her suggestion was to get in touch with a woman named Barbara Mirren. I don't know if any of you have heard the name or are familiar with who she is, but Barbara is amazing. We talked for an hour and a half on the phone after having emailed each other back and forth quite a bit. So she's going to be super cool. Her talk is going to be Nature Heals. All of you who remember J.D. Durwood, we used to go out in the woods and talk to trees and sing with the brooks or the water and all that kind of fun stuff. It sounds like she does the same kind of thing. She has, her business is called Abundant Wellness. And so I have some flyers here because, and they're downstairs on the table, she's going to give us an abbreviated version of what she does in her sessions for being outside, being with nature, and doing her healing in the woods. And so after the service, after we have some lunch, she's going to put on a full-blown event. Sorry, this is in black and white. The color picture is much better, but we don't have a color printer here. So she sent this to me last night so I could print it up for you today so you can get prepared for May 18th. It's going to be in Chester Creek area. I'm sure she will be able to show, to look around and see where she wants to take you in. And basically this nature bath, much like our sound bath last week, increases sense of well-being and peace, reduces stress and anxiety, boosts immune system, improves your sleep, enhance creativity, emotional regulation and clarity, and so much more. And I think that's going to, if you want to get involved with that session, which will be a 2.5-hour session in the woods, make sure that you get one of these flyers. I will bring more next week to make sure that we have enough. So yes, please do sign up on that. She's got her website where you register in advance. So I wanted to just let you know that's coming up, another big event for us at LSICC. And next Sunday, moving on, and we have Barbara With. Barbara will be not channeling our partners in spirit for this next week. She will be talking about Summer of Love. So it's something completely different, which is cool and exciting. So we're looking forward to Barbara. And there's another announcement.
Hi, I'm Monty. Most of you probably know me. But for the past 2 summers, me and my best friend have been running a summer camp. And it's really fun. We have 14 acres and there's 16 chickens. And the kids usually just build forts and play with chickens, and it's really fun. And the kids usually end up liking it. So if anyone is interested, I do have flyers, and I will pass them out like with the eating time. So just let me know if you're interested. It's so much fun. I love doing it. We've done it for the past 2 years. So just let me know, and yeah, I'll get back to you.
Thanks, Buddy. Thanks, Buddy. All right, at this time, let us read our Declaration of Principles. It's on the white card. All right. We believe God is the eternal source and creator of all and is present in everything. Our eternal soul, endowed with free will, grows through many lifetimes. Communication occurs between the physical and spiritual worlds. Prayer and meditation strengthen our connection to the divine. All healing comes from Source. Seeking this for ourselves and compassion for others suffering is the highest priority. Because we are all one, what we do unto others, we do unto ourselves. The choice of love is always open for every soul. Living these principles leads us to grow in divine love. And now, at this time, we're going to focus on our healing bowl. Our healing bowl is active 24/7. You can put a name in our bowl either by putting it on a piece of paper and putting it in the bowl or through your intention. There are always people we need to pray for, always people that need our help. And I can tell you, we have helped many, many people through our prayers. We get people saying, I felt it. So let's make them feel it today, and let's really pray for whatever we need to pray for. Does anyone have anyone special that they need to pray for? Come on up.
Morning, everybody. Oops, I got dizzy there.
We need prayers for you.
My dear sister Colleen in Denver. She has some very serious lung issues going on. So what I'm asking for the prayers for is she is having a second visit that she's asked with her pulmonary doctor. They're meeting at 3 o'clock tomorrow, Denver time. And she's asking for prayers for some clarity and resolution in creating a healing plan, but always for her highest good, however she and we are led. Thanks.
Prayers for Colleen? Colleen. Any other prayer requests? Well, as always, we pray for ourselves and for the country. And oh, here we go. Come on up.
Prayers for Wade Greif. He is my sister's new friend, and he recently got over an illness, and during that illness, they discovered a mass in his spine, and they're gonna do exploratory surgery on it. It's either an infection or cancer. So after the surgery, which has many, many risks, he has 6 weeks of recovery time. So I just want to pray for Wade that he has a miracle of infection and good healing time.
There you go. Prayers for Wade. All right.
Good morning. I'm asking for prayers for Asher. We call him Bubby. He's 4 years old. He lives in Georgia, where I just recently moved from. He has brain cancer. He has already undergone 6 months of chemo, and it's been very painful to observe and be around that. And he recently, after the 6 months, they did an MRI to see if everything was gone, and it's not. So he's got to go through 6 more months. So That's about what I can say.
Oh my gosh, prayers for Asher. Anyone else? All right, so at this time, we'll sing our song of In the Silence, hymn number 74 in Wings of Song. After we do the song, there will be just a moment of silence, and then Joann will be our speaker. Namaste.
Good morning, everybody. It's nice to be here. It's a good energy in here. Thank you. Have any of you ever heard of Ole and Lena? Well, one day Sven was working at the hardware store, and he looked out the window and he saw Ole running by. Ole was naked. So Sven ran out and said, Ole, 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 what are you doing? Oh, hi, Sven. Well, Lena and I decided to go for a nice walk in the forest. Suddenly, she looked at me and said, Ole, let's take our clothes off and go to town. I guess I just got here first. That is my one and only joke. And I wasn't going to tell a joke, and my son in spirit, Craig, you'll hear more about him in a minute, I couldn't sleep. I woke up about 3 o'clock this morning, and sure enough, he was there, and he was such a jokester. He loved to make people laugh. He goes, oh, come on, Ma, you got to tell a joke. You got to do it. So here I am. Anyway, thank you for having me. The title of my presentation is, I'm going to pull this down a little bit here. Just a little bit shorter than Sue, I guess. All right, is that better? All right. Sorry, I was going to memorize all this, but I find I have to read it. The memory is not that great. But anyway, thank you for having me. The title of my presentation is The Power of the Seen and Unseen Energies, Unlocking Intuition and the Law of Attraction. I'm an empowerment coach, a psychic, a pianist and songwriter, also a grief educator, and I have retired about 5 years ago from a career as a medical imaging technologist. So I'm really honored to be here with you today to talk about something very close to my heart, the power of seen and unseen energies and how we can use them to unlock intuition and align with the law of attraction to recreate a more meaningful, soul-guided life. I passionately believe in the magnificent power of our souls, our greater selves, our essence, whatever you want to call it. In all that I do, I'm dedicated to helping others remember their true selves, their true power. That's what brings me the great joy. So I'll begin with just a little bit of my story about my awakening journey. Years ago, I was living a very, very different life. I was a married mom of 3 wonderful sons and had this career in medical imaging. At age 19, I had married a very, very controlling and dominating man. I spent years silencing myself, trying to please him and everyone else, doubting my self-worth, hiding my dreams, and living in fear of speaking up. I had lost myself. But life had something much deeper in mind for me, and this is how everything changed. My awakening began in the most heart-wrenching, painful way. After the death of my youngest son, Craig. In 1995, he was 10 years old. Craig had developed leukemia. He went into the hospital and he had very, very intense chemotherapy. We prayed for a miracle, but unfortunately it didn't happen. He was gone in a few weeks. He developed a terrible blood infection that he couldn't fight off. His death shattered my world. It cracked me wide open and it destroyed who I thought I was. I felt power awakening in me though, because of this devastation. I don't know where it came from, but it wanted to come back. It wanted to speak to me. I had a clear knowing that I was meant for something more. It was then that something else emerged, my intuition. Very shortly after Craig's transition back to the spirit world, I started receiving signs from him that he was here, and it was undeniable. He started communicating with me telepathically. It's like I'd never had that happen before. It was amazing. I could hear him very clearly. I felt him near me, showing up in ways that I just couldn't ignore. It was so life-changing for me just to have that happen. So I'm going to share a few stories about the first signs that happened in that first year, in less than a year. He died on July 27th at St. Paul's Children's Hospital at 3 in the morning. And we were at the hospital for several hours after his passing. But when we finally decided to go home, we stepped out into a very bright, sunny, beautiful summer day. It was just gorgeous. Of course, we were all in shock and devastation, but yet the sunshine was comforting. And I sat in the passenger seat in front, and I closed my eyes. And I let the sunshine come through the windshield and warm my face. Felt good. And shortly after I closed my eyes, I was brought the most beautiful vision. It was so real. It was Craig. And he was showing me he was dancing and playing in this big meadow of flowers. And there were other kids there. And they were all happy and just in a wonderful place. And the vision just made me smile. It's like, oh my God, that's him. That's him. And it wasn't made up. I knew it was real. So that was the first sign. Well, we got through his funeral, the burial, and everything. And then it was time to grieve and recover as best we could. One day, it was 3 days after his funeral, I was sitting on the sofa and just feeling like, absolutely like a wet dish rag. I had no energy, I could barely move. And was sitting there by myself, and suddenly I heard a message. And the message was very loud and clear, and it said, go over to the piano. I'm like, no, I don't have any energy, and I don't want to play the piano. What's this going on? But it was very clear, and it was like very insistent, go to the piano. So I thought, okay, I'll get up, I'll drag myself over. I sat on the bench. Now what? Then I heard another message. It said, okay, now you're gonna create a song, and it's gonna be in the key of D flat, and it's gonna be in 3/4 time. I go, oh yeah, right. Sure. It's like, where is this voice coming from? Although I had a sneaking suspicion it was Craig. Anyway, my hands went to the keys. And before his passing, I'd only ever written 2 songs. I've been a pianist since I was like 4 years old, but classically trained and everything. But all of a sudden, this little melody was coming out. And it was beautiful, and it made me cry. And I can't remember if I got out a recorder or if I jotted something down, but that little bit of the song stayed with me. And I knew I had to finish it. Well, eventually I did, once, further along in my grief journey. And I knew that the song would have to be named Sundance after that vision on that first day that he passed away. All right, one more story about signs from Craig. In November, after he passed away, Children's Hospital held an event, and it was called Angels Among Us. And the event was for the friends and families of children who'd passed away in their hospital in the last year. Walked into their auditorium, and I was shocked. The whole auditorium was full. I thought, wow, other people have gone through this too. It was so, it was unbelievable, really. And it was so well done. They had this giant screen, and they had a slideshow going on with our children's pictures. Oh my God, the tears. I cried and cried and cried and cried. And they had Kleenex. They had you could sit, and then there was this little kind of desk thing in front of everybody. But they had every other person, they had a full box of Kleenex. I used up the whole box. The guy next to me, well, he was probably a grandpa. He didn't cry, but he kept looking over at me like, lady, are you going to be okay? Anyway, it was beautiful, and it ended, and I tried to get up, but I couldn't. My legs were just mush. It was like Jell-O. So I just sat there. I said, I'll just sit here until I can, get some strength back. And all of a sudden, I felt this energy wrapping around me. It was real. I could feel it. And then all of a sudden, I was being rocked back and forth just a little bit. And I heard Craig say to me, Mom, you're going to be okay. You're going to survive this nightmare, and everything's going to work out for you. Boy, I tell you, that was something. Well, he continues to send signs. He's with me. I mean, this has been almost 30 years ago, and he still shows up. When he was a child, I would sit on his bed, and he would do his bedtime prayers, and I'd kiss him goodnight on his right cheek, and I'd turn my right cheek, and he'd kiss mine. Well, guess what started happening? Little brushes on the cheek to let me know he's with me. And he'll show up at the most unexpected times. I mean, sometimes we're just sitting reading books, and I'll look at Tom and say, oh, Craig's here. What a welcome spirit he is. He continues to show up that way, and he also helps me in all that I do. He had come back to let me know that I was going to do these things that I'd never thought of doing, like becoming a psychic and a speaker and everything else. And he helps me with that. He helps me to this day when I do coaching or speaking or anything, psychic readings. So that's my little story about my Craig. And again, he loved to make people laugh, and he was just an incredible child. I sure miss him. So I went on to develop the knowledge and skills that I needed to do songwriting, intuition, psychic and mediumship work, energy healing, law of attraction, and also did some intuitive painting for a while. What I discovered was that I didn't want to just heal, I wanted to thrive. And I wanted to help others find their inner light too, to empower them to live the lives they wanted to live. And the one thing that I discovered and now teach is that there's way more available to us than what meets the eye. And I'm sure all of you know that from what your philosophy is here in this community. So in this section, I'm going to talk about why are we here? Well, we're all beautiful, evolving journeys. We're here to remember who we really are, extensions of divine source energy. This energy is referred to as universe, God, spirit, source, soul, greater self, inner being, essence, and many, many, many more titles. It's hard to settle on the one that works best for you. I kind of like soul. I use inner being a lot because it's Abraham Hicks's. I'm a big fan of theirs, and they use that. But whatever name you use, it's always listening and always responds to our energy. I believe that as extensions of source energy, we choose to incarnate into these physical bodies. And our intent is to live joyfully and to embrace our divine power in order to be happy and to live creative lives and help create the endless expansion of the eternal universe. There is no separation from source energy. It's infinite, so it must be everywhere at all times. That means there's nowhere we can go that's not a part of source energy. Even if we feel separate, we are not. Our essence is light, love, and infinite creativity. We all have free will to choose love or fear. So I try to ask myself often, what am I here? What would love do? What would love do? Love being living our very essence. I like that acronym. All right, next I'm going to talk a little bit about seen and unseen energy. When we consider seen energy, it refers to energy that we can actually see, feel, and measure. It's the physical world around us, but also the energy we emit and experience with our five senses. I like to think about the electromagnetic spectrum. Are any of you familiar with that? Yeah, it's a really broad spectrum of frequencies, and it shows how at the low end you have like AM radio waves, a little far apart. And at the high end, you've got the gamma rays that are going really fast. So if you consider that the chart is maybe this wide, what our human senses can pick up is about this wide. It's the light, the visible light that we are privileged to see and enjoy. So when you think about that, it's like, wow, look at all the stuff that we can't pick up with our senses. It's amazing, and it helps you understand and embrace the things that are intangible. So it's one of my favorite things to refer to help me remember. Yeah, it's not all human stuff. There's way more to it. I also like to talk about how the seen energy is like the sunlight shining through the window. You can feel its warmth on your skin. You can see the way it lights up a room. So that's tangible. You don't question that it's there because you can see it and experience it. Unseen energy, on the other hand, is like air. You can't see it, but it's what allows you to breathe, to speak, and even sing. One is visible, the other is not. The other one is vital. Both are energy, but just in different forms. When we think about electricity, you can't see the current, but we see its effect. Things turn on, devices power up, lights turn on. That's seen energy because of the unseen energy. In my former world of medical imaging, As you can imagine, there's X-rays, there's radioactive isotopes, ultrasound, the physics of MRI with magnetism and radio waves and lots of electricity. You can't see any of that, but when it's captured and received in a computer or on a film, then you can see the anatomy into the body. So unseen to the seen. And if any of you have ever had an MRI, you know you can't see the electricity that's making all that pounding, but you can sure hear it. And look at nature, the wind in the trees, ocean waves, sunlight. Everything vibrates, everything has a frequency. That's the beauty of seen energy. It's the bridge between the physical and the spiritual. So while we live in a physical world, we're constantly exchanging energy with everything and everyone. That's the seen layer. But just beyond that, something whispering, something's guiding us, is the unseen energies of intuition, soul, and universal law. And that is where the magic happens. All right, intuition is that quiet, knowing voice inside of you. It's the sudden clarity, the gut feeling, or the inexplicable pull towards something that feels right. It's not based on logic or external input. It's a direct line to your inner wisdom. It's your internal GPS. One of our biggest challenges is learning to feel intuition and tell it apart from fear or ego. So I'm going to just touch on those points here. Fear is a loud, urgent, and rooted in what ifs or past pain. It feels heavy, constricting, or overwhelming. Ego is about comparison, pride, or the need to prove something. It often comes with overthinking. Intuition, on the other hand, is calm, quiet, and neutral. It feels expansive, light, and aligned. It doesn't demand, it simply is. It's clarity that just feels right. It's not from the outside, it's from your soul. No logic is needed, just inner wisdom. So our mission then is to let go of fear and ego's grip and align with our inner knowing. And that's what I try to practice every day. And I can assure you that the more you practice, the easier it gets. And every time you notice that you're following your intuition and deciphering what the voice sounds like, well, then it gets to be much easier and more natural for you to tune into that. And we're also here to remember that joy is our natural state. It's who we are. So here are 2 key questions that you can ask yourself when faced with a decision. First of all, ask, does this feel expansive and aligned? Or does it feel constricting and fear-driven? Am I seeking external validation, or does this feel true to me on a soul level? I hear so many people that have toxic people in their life, and it's just like they feel obligated to continue their relationships and pretend. But, you know, to me, that's ego. You want to hang on to that external validation and not do what's true to your soul. That's just one example. But I hear that a lot. Now, I have a fantastic story of following my intuition. Back in 2017, I got a nudge to send a Facebook request to my husband, to Tom, who's now my husband. He was a friend of a friend who mentioned him to me more than once, and for some reason I had this gentle pulling towards this Tom Norquist. Didn't know what it was, but I was listening, and it felt good. So the nudge to send him the Facebook request was not a big fanfare. It was just gentle, and it felt good. And he became my friend and more. So that's the power of intuition. What a moment. What a moment that I followed. What if I wouldn't have done that? I don't know. I don't like to think about it. I'm sure you all have your own wonderful stories too. It'd be fun to hear them sometime. You know, and it comes in ordinary moments too. Just yesterday, Tom was heading out to help a friend at his cabin to plant trees. Well, he got halfway down the driveway and all of a sudden he's backing up and, oh, I just remembered my wheelbarrow. Well, that was intuition helping him out. One more story about Tom is that he has this intuitive gift of always knowing just when to look up at the sky and see a beautiful eagle or a hawk. It happens so often, it's like he is so tuned in. So wonderful, wonderful stories of following intuition. All right. Well, moving on now to the law of attraction. Your thoughts equal your vibration. I loved hearing that one of you, I can't remember which one of you was telling me that you have the book club about Abraham Hicks in the Vortex. Oh yeah, that's so awesome. I refer to their books a lot and recommend them to my clients quite often too. It's just amazing what they've got it narrowed down, and it's just so easy to understand how they teach it. So if you haven't checked out Abraham Hicks, I highly recommend. There is a genius inside each of us. Here we are in these human bodies, and so often we're taught to believe that we must be small, we must conform to certain beliefs and certain ways, limited ways of expression, limited lifestyles. But that's not at all what our beautiful souls came here to experience. Not at all. We come in as babies and we know this. I mean, look how joyous little kids are all the time. They're just into to being joyful. But then we get it ground out of us with rules and regulations and other human things that are made up. Anyway, we are, again, extensions of pure source energy. Our genius can be accessed within our souls and our essence. Our human selves are but a mere part of our greater self. In fact, I've been taught that the human part of us is like maybe 20%, and the inner being, oversoul, greater self, whatever you want to call it, is the 80%. So much bigger and so much to draw from. It's easy to forget that. You get caught up in human drama, and it's like, wait a minute. So let's talk about the law of attraction, the unseen energy that responds to your vibration. I'll ask some questions, and you can think about it. Do you realize that the thoughts we think equal our point of attraction? Do you realize that we get what we think about and how we feel, whether we want it or not? Do you realize that our thoughts equal vibration, and that vibration is then answered by the universe? Do you realize that as our vibration expands, it becomes more powerful, it eventually becomes powerful enough for manifestation to occur? Good things to keep in mind. These ideas come from the teaching of Abraham Hicks and other great teachers that I've been following over the years that have really helped transform how I live. But let me ask you another question. Have you noticed how being in a joyful, eager, or hopeful state brings more good things your way? You're in a good mood, you get up in the morning and you bounce your way around, and gosh, this happens. You get the best parking spot, and your friend calls and you haven't heard from in a while, or your cousin who you haven't heard from in 30 years finds you on Facebook, and oh my gosh, things, it's like a little snowball going down the mountain. It just gets bigger and bigger. Well, have you ever felt frustration or resentment? And that seems to bring more of the same. You get up grumpy and, oh my gosh, what a terrible day we're having. It just keeps multiplying because you stay in that vibration unless you can get yourself out of it. Here's a very powerful reminder from Abraham Hicks. That which is your source is fully aware of you right now and feels unspeakable appreciation for who you are. Your life is supposed to feel good to you, and you are meant to feel happiness in your life, and you are meant to satisfy your dreams. That's why we're here. All right, some key truths about all of this. A belief is just a thought you keep thinking. Our subconscious is like a great big filing cabinet. Everything gets stored there, good, bad, and the ugly. And the conscious, it goes up to our conscious so fast that it's so easy to consider a thought a belief. And then you just keep believing it, it gets stronger and stronger and stronger. So good to be aware that sometimes those beliefs are just old patterns that we can change. Yeah. And every time you become aware of a thought pattern and consciously shift it, you are rewiring your brain. You are literally changing. So, just like how I mentioned, the more you use your intuition, the stronger it gets. Same with catching yourself in beliefs that maybe don't serve you anymore. So, all right. As you think thoughts that feel good, you begin to vibrate in harmony with your true self. And that's when things start to shift. All right, Abraham Hicks describes a three-step process. Have some of you heard of it, the three-step process to manifesting? Well, it's going to be very simplistic. There's a lot more to it than just these things I'm going to read to you, but it just gives you an overview. Step one, you experience contrast. Life shows you what you don't want. From that, you launch a desire for what you do want. Source receives it right away. Step two, not your problem. Source will work on getting answers for your request immediately. Your desire becomes a vibrational reality and stored in what Abraham calls the vortex. Step three, you align with the vibration of your desire through everything that we've talked about here, getting your vibration into a happier place, getting rid of old stale beliefs, catching yourself when you are not happy and seeing what you can do to raise that up a little. So staying aligned in a noisy world isn't always easy, though. It's filled with fear, negativity, and drama. Oh my goodness, the 6 o'clock news, yikes. That can just send you right off into a bad place. So what can you do about it? Well, you can move up the emotional scale. Well, what the heck is the emotional scale? In the book, Ask and It Is Given by Abraham Hicks, there's on page 114, they list 22 different emotional levels. I'll just tell you, the bottom one is fear, grief, depression, despair, and powerlessness. That's number 22. Number one is joy, knowledge, empowerment, freedom, love, and appreciation. So when you're feeling discouragement or worry or doubt or something, just try to move up to the next level. Just say, I can't stay here. It's not doing me any good. It's just going to attract some crappy stuff. So what can I do to get myself up just a little? And there are just a few little ways here I'll read to you. Move up that emotional scale as best you can. And don't think, if you're way on the bottom and you're in fear, you can't jump way up to the top just like that. It's incremental. You have to kind of allow yourself to go gradually. Yeah. It's like they use an example of, say you're on a train and it's going 85 miles an hour and suddenly they want to turn and go back the other way. Well, they can't do that at 85 miles an hour. They'll get derailed. So it's just kind of a nice analogy. Just be gentle on yourself. Take it a little at a time. Reach for a better thought. Reach for a better thought. Kind of push what's worrying you, kind of push it aside if you can. Think of other things that are more pleasant. Feel appreciation for anything in your life, everything in your life if you want to. I mean, Go out in nature, for heaven's sakes. My gosh, what is better than connecting with the beautiful, beautiful, pure energy of being outside? Find a way to laugh. Put on some comedy or call Craig in. He'll tell you a joke. Get some rest. Abraham Hicks often says, if you just can't get it out of your system, go take a nap, if you can. If you're at work, maybe that won't work out so well, but and above all, be kind to yourself, be gentle. Again, we are extensions of pure source energy. We came here into this physical world for the purpose of joy, growth, and expansion. The journey towards releasing limiting beliefs and embracing empowering ones is a process. Think of it as a process, just getting into better habits. It takes time, it takes passion, and it takes a lot of self-compassion. Don't be hard on yourself. If you're hard on yourself, there's a good thing you can do. Find a picture of yourself as a little child. Put the picture up on the fridge or wherever. You see it a lot. When you get in a grumpy mood and you start criticizing yourself, just go up and look at the picture of that sweet little child and ask yourself, would I talk to him or her that way? Nah. So have that kind of compassion for yourselves as adults. All right. Well, I will leave you with this. Your life is supposed to feel good. You're meant to be happy. And you are meant to satisfy your dreams. And yes, you can. Expect the joy. Just a little final reflection. Take a moment now to close your eyes if you feel comfortable or not. And just ask yourself, what is one small shift I can make today to listen more to my intuition or to raise my vibration? What am I ready to receive? And as you're pondering that, I'm going to set up for a meditation. Going to help us align us with the law of attraction. Just take a moment. All right. Find a comfortable position. Gently close your eyes and take a deep breath in. And slowly exhale. With each inhale, feel yourself drawing in light, energy, and possibility. With each exhale, release any tension, doubt, or fear. Let your body relax. Let your mind soften. This is your time to connect with the infinite energy of creation. Now, imagine roots extending from the base of your spine, reaching deep, deep into Mother Earth. These roots ground you, anchoring you in stability, in trust, in the knowing that you are always, always supported. Feel this connection strengthening, allowing you to open fully to the energy of the universe. Now, picture a warm golden light forming at the top of your head, flowing down, down, down through your body, filling every cell with clarity, confidence, and radiant energy. Now, bring to mind something that you deeply desire. A dream, a goal, an experience you wish to manifest. See it clearly. Where are you? Who is with you? What does it feel like to have it? Allow this vision to become vibrant and alive in your mind. Feel the joy. Feel the excitement. Feel the gratitude of already having it. Let this feeling expand within you like a warm, glowing light, filling your entire being. The universe responds not just to your thoughts, but to your emotions, your energy. Right now, you are in the vibration of receiving. Affirm to yourself, I am worthy of my desires. I attract abundance effortlessly. Everything I seek is already seeking me. Now feel these affirmations sinking deep into your subconscious, aligning you with the energy of attraction. Now, if any doubts, fears, or limiting beliefs arise, simply acknowledge them without judgment. Imagine placing them into a small floating cloud. Watch the wind carry them away, dissolving into the sky. In their place, feel a deep sense of trust. The universe is always conspiring in your favor. You don't have to force or chase. Simply align, believe, and allow. Now take a moment to express gratitude for everything you already have and for the blessings that are on their way and for the infinite potential within you. Breathe in gratitude and exhale any remaining tension. When you're ready, gently wiggle your fingers and your toes, bringing awareness back to your body. Slowly open your eyes, carrying this energy of alignment with you into your day. The universe is always listening, and you are always attracting, and your dreams are already on their way. Thank you so much for sharing this sacred time with me. You are powerful, you are intuitive, You are magnetic, and you are meant to rise. Namaste. Thank you.
As soon as we get done with the offering, then you can play your song.
Okay, sounds good, dear. And don't forget my phone.
At this time, we can get a couple of people to bring forward the baskets for our offertory. All right. Thank you. All right, are you ready?
Yes.
Quick, short one.
Ah. So everyone now, just relax and feel and take a deep breath that's inside of your heart. And feel the spirit that you are, have always been. We are that spirit of light, compassion, love, peace, and joy, just as we heard from our speaker today. Breathe in and let it out. And so we are all connected together with the spirit of the universe that is with us too. So feel your connection with everyone here together. Light, compassion, love, peace, and joy. Happiness as it is. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Amen.
Amen.
Amen, amen, amen. At this point, Joann would like to play us a little song on the piano. As I recall, this is something this is your own creation.
Yeah, it's called abundance.
Abundance, yes. So talented. I'm so jealous. Okay, at this time, I'd like for us to say our church affirmation. You'll find it on the white card. So, we totally accept the belief that God is in charge of the affairs and direction of Lake Superior Interfaith Community Church. As our thoughts of trust and joyful anticipation join in harmony with the thoughts of all members of this fellowship, we attract the right ministerial leadership and people to our spiritual community. And what are we? We are grateful. Let's get into a circle and sing our final song. While you're getting organized, I'll say a little prayer for us. Source Creator, help us each and every day to find the best expression of our soul, to be rewarded in our lives with the flow of abundance, to keep us safe, protected, supported, and have all the benefits of financial security to help us continue expressing the highest version of ourselves without fear and without worry. All right. We all ready? So we're booked for June. The only person except we don't have anybody May 25th yet, but I did reach out to Chuck Crum to see if he wants to speak. Unless he would like to speak.